on your computer, on your smartphone, on your Wi-Fi radio. We're localwebradio.fm.
Would you like to get more from the devices you own? Not quite sure where to start? There is help. Welcome to Powering Up for Non-Techies with Justin Martell, Computer Department Manager at London Drugs. Now, your host.
Yes, this is your host, Eva Marienchild, and I am here with Justin Martell, Computer Department Manager at London Drugs. Today we'll be talking with Justin about saving files and documents online and learning about the cloud. I'm sure you've all heard about that. Hi, Justin. It's great to be talking with you today again.
Thanks, Eva. Looks like we're going to have a good show today.
Yes, we sure are. Let's go right into it. What is the cloud?
So the cloud, you might have heard that term thrown about quite often lately. You've got all kinds of different companies talking about the cloud. We hear it from Microsoft, from Google, you name it. The main thing with it is just an online type of storage system so that you can access your stuff from outside the house or from on a different computer. Because the main thing that we're finding these days is that people are starting to have many, many devices. So when you have a smartphone, when you have a tablet, when you have a laptop, a desktop, it can get a little bit crazy trying to organize yourself sometimes. And the cloud is thought up as an idea to keep yourself synced up and organized amongst all your devices with a single type of account that can let you access everything.
It does sound very convenient. Okay. Now, why would I want to save my files online, though?
So the biggest part of it is the easy access. So it's easy to transfer things back and forth. Say you wanted to snap a picture on your phone and send it to somebody. You can simply send it in a text message, or you can upload it to a cloud. So if you have your own little account, we'll use Google as an example. If you upload something to Google, you take a picture, that sort of thing, you'll find many people have an Android phone, for example. When you first set up your Android phone, you're setting up a Google account, and that account is going to save everything for you. So if you take a picture, it's going to keep a copy. If you make a new contact in your contact book, it's going to save that for you as well. So when you want to share that with somebody else, it's very easy to do so because there's already an online digital copy. Say you get a new computer or a new phone, a new device, and you want it to act like your old one did, say the old one broke or was stolen or something like that, the account saves all that information for you to try and keep it as easy as possible. Once you get your new device, you simply sign back in and your stuff starts to pop in over the next hour or so. The other use of it, saving files online that is, would be sharing pictures with family. A lot of people will use a service called Dropbox, if you've heard of it. There's others like it as well, where you can actually organize your own folders and things there. So you can put, say, some pictures from the family trip or from a vacation, from just anything, videos you've taken. You can just put them right into that folder, and then you can give anybody you trust the name and password, and they can pop in and read it, whether they're on the other side of the world, whether they're next door, no big deal.
Wow, so it is very convenient then. Wow.
Yeah,
and this is all on the cloud.
Yeah, if I can share one story. I have an example of a customer who came in to see me. I won't name any names. He came in to see me, and he had a whole bunch of old family footage on VHS tape, which is a very common thing. People have them on VHS tapes, and they want to, bring them into the modern age and be able to look at them again. And he came in and asked me if I could help him or teach him how to move them from a VHS onto his computer and then to burn them onto a DVD so he could mail the DVD to a family member overseas. And I was a little stunned by it because I didn't realize that people would think in that way, but they do. I explained to him that the best part of it is already over. Once they're moved onto the computer, there's no reason to put them back onto a DVD and then mail them. You've got them in the computer. That's the best place for them. Now you can put them on the internet. You can send them a link, and you don't have to do any other work. It's great. So he was extremely happy with that sort of advice, and I showed him how he could set up a little Dropbox account and showed him how he could just drop the file in there and send it by email to his family, and he was ecstatic.
That sounds great. So all of this is on the cloud. It sounds similar to what we do right now with our computer.
Yeah, that's right. So in order to organize our show and that sort of thing, you and I are using the cloud to bounce ideas back and forth with each other, to discuss sort of thing. Yeah.
For example, you mean Google Drive?
Yeah. Google Drive is a method in the cloud, as is Microsoft OneDrive. Used to be known as SkyDrive. You might have heard of that one as well. Those are
SkyDrive?
ones. Yeah.
So what happens if I'm using the cloud and if my computer crashes?
That's a good question. The beauty of the cloud is that when you sign up and when you're using it, everything is saved elsewhere. So say you have a computer crash, your hard drive dies, it's stolen, or there's some sort of natural disaster, a fire, that sort of thing, your data is protected because it's saved somewhere else. You can always just log into it. All you need is the name and the password of your account, and you can get at it from your computer at home. You can get at it from a friend's computer, from a computer at the library. It doesn't really matter at that point. That's really the nice thing about it. And there's other things you can use. I can share a story about my dad that happened a couple of years ago.
Yes, please.
He had a big computer crash. Everything died, and his hard drive crashed. We couldn't get any data off of it. It was gone. I hadn't asked him before, but I said, Dad, had you backed anything up? I really hope so, because you do a lot of business on there. And he said, yeah, I've been using a program called Carbonite. And I hadn't seen it before. I had him show me online. And Carbonite is actually a program that'll go in and back up everything for you over the web. And it's just something that constantly runs in the background, and whenever you change or add a file, it saves it. So in that kind of event, all he did is he went and bought a new computer, he signed in Carbonite, and then we left it overnight, and in the morning all of his stuff was there on the new computer. It was amazing.
Now, it sounds wonderful, but what's the difference? Because when I have a computer, I see once in a while a pop-up window that says backing up.
So when you see that sort of thing, it all depends what sort of program's in there. Windows does have its own little backup tools. Some are simpler than others, but typically, unless you plug in your own type of drive, it's not making a copy that's going to be safe. Because even if it's backing up, it's just a copy on the computer, unless you put
which is going to crash. Right.
Have a crash and it's in one place, it still doesn't help you. So you want to make sure you have a nice memory stick or an extra drive or a cloud service to save your stuff somewhere important.
So, Justin, is it safe to use, though? Because you're taking it out of your place and putting it into another place.
That's a very good question as well. A lot of people are a little concerned, especially with some of the security risks we've heard of in the news recently, about sharing information over the web or letting somebody else save it for them. Because that's what you're doing when you're using the cloud. You're trusting whatever company you choose to safely store your data where nobody else can access it. So it's up to you who you'd like to trust with that sort of thing. Personally, I do use Microsoft OneDrive. I use Google Drive as well. But there are other alternatives for people who are concerned about that sort of thing. There is a way to set up your own cloud in the home, which a lot of people would like to do, and it's actually very cool. And that's something I might talk to you about after the break.
Absolutely. Thank you for reminding me. It is time for a quick break, and we'll be right back with Justin Martell, Computer Department Manager at London Drugs, to talk about the cloud and how you can use it to make your life easier on the computer. We'll be right back. Stay with us.
More Powering Up for Non-Techies with Justin Martell, Computer Department Manager at London Drugs, after this.
Are you dealing with a health issue you would love to resolve? Would you like to restore yourself to be healthier and more invigorated? The naturopathic doctors at Ocean Park Natural Therapies want you to know that you can be helped. There is no limit to what they treat because they don't treat the conditions or the disease. They treat people, not diagnosis. For more information and to book your appointment, call 604-538-3017. That's 604-538-3017. And visit them online at www.oceanparkhealth.com. Buying or selling a home on the Semiahmoo Peninsula? Catch up on local market conditions on This Week in Real Estate with Lance and Connie Marples from Sutton West Coast Realty on localwebradio.fm. To schedule a face-to-face consultation, you can reach Lance and Connie at 604-538-8888. That's 604-538-8888. and visit them online at www.surreywhiterockhomes.com.
Hillcrest Bakery and Deli presents Old Time Radio on the specialty channel on localwebradio.fm. Hillcrest Bakery and Deli, serving the Semiahmoo Peninsula for over 40 years with custom cakes, deli platters, and a wide selection of fresh-baked breads. Hillcrest Bakery and Deli on the corner of Thrift and Johnston, where everything is lovingly made from scratch. Call Hillcrest Bakery and Deli today at 604-531-1750. That's 604-531-1750. And visit them online at hillcrestbakeryanddeli.ca.
Shopping for the lowest mortgage rate? Looking to refinance?
Catch the Mortgage Newscast with Jared Dreyer
On the Business Channel
on localwebradio.fm.
It's time for more Powering Up for Non-Techies with Justin Martell.
And we're back. So here we are with Justin Martell, and he is computer manager at London Drugs, and we're talking about the cloud again. So this is the cloud. Here I thought the cloud was not to be used by people who are not into really complicated, multi-layered, tech-savvy kind of
more and more
equipment.
every day, it's for the everyday person. Yeah.
Like Google Drive, for instance. Who would have thought of such a thing? Like everybody gets in there, and it's like having a group meeting.
Yep, that's right. Even Google Docs, for example, Google Documents. When we put a file in there, I can make an edit to it and save it, and you'll see that edit within a number of moments if I've decided to share that file with you. And we can both work on a document simultaneously and see each other's changes.
Oh, okay. So let's talk about solutions. What device or devices can I use the cloud on?
That's another great aspect of the cloud that makes it easy for everybody to use. You can use the cloud on laptops, desktops, phones, tablets, and any brand. Whether it's Windows or something else, it doesn't matter. You can use it on your own computer, your neighbor's computer, even an internet cafe while you're away on vacation. The flexibility of it is just like nothing we've seen in the past. You can get at it from any computer with an internet connection. That's the only real requirement.
So you did mention that I can have my own cloud, huh?
Yes, I promised to talk about that after the break, so let's get into that a little bit. The device that we've been selling at the store, which I really like. I've played with it a little bit. I've set one up and tried it out, and I've had good feedback from my customers as well. It's called a network drive. Some of the brands we sell are Buffalo. We've got a D-Link drive as well, an enclosure. And they're things that we can talk to you about and help you set up. But let me explain it to you a little bit, because the beauty of it is you have a cloud, but it's not one that you're trusting another company to save somewhere. So what you do is you buy the drive. It's a storage drive in its own, but it's one that will actually plug into your router or your internet connection instead of your computer. And how that works is it's going to store that data right on the drive, and that drive is going to have its own access point through their website. So you would go on their website, make an account, and essentially that's just going to let you get to that drive in your house. And nobody else can get to it or see it other than people with the password. So you can put anything you like in there if you wanted something a little more private or something that's sensitive, company information, tax information, that sort of thing. Things that you just don't want other people to be able to get their eyes on. The beauty of it is you can store as much as you want on there. And you can have more than one drive if you find that you fill it up. And you can give a relative access. You can give a business partner access, anybody you like. That way everything is in a safe, secure place. Only the people you choose can see it. And you get to choose exactly who you're going to trust with your data. So it's a very convenient solution that people can set up at home or the office, and that I really enjoy helping people work out.
Oh, that's great. I'm glad you enjoyed that. Now, you mentioned this is a plus. It makes it easier to share files with other people, doesn't it?
That's right. As I said earlier, probably my favorite part of the cloud is just being able to share with people. Because in the stage of internet, of Skype, that sort of thing, we see people less face-to-face. And I find we're sharing things more over a social network, whether it's Facebook or something of the sort. And it's just a little less personal. And that sort of thing as well, you do have to be very careful with what you put online, because we're hearing stories of people, when they're hiring, they're looking at their candidates' Facebook pages to see what kind of lifestyle they have,
right,
that sort of thing. You really leave an online footprint these days. So you got to be careful with what you upload for everybody to see. So the beauty of the cloud that way is just to be able to choose who's going to see it. You have a little bit of control, and you can still just as easily share and have the people that you want to see it, but keep prying eyes away. So that's what I really love to see.
That's a very important point. Yes, everybody's concerned about that, the footprint we leave when we go online. Is it prohibitive, the cost, or no, are they making it more affordable?
It's actually not too bad at all. So that's a good question. I didn't even think of that. People would love to hear about the cost of the cloud. Many companies will give you the first amount for free, and that'll range anywhere from 5 gigabytes to 7 gigabytes with a typical company like OneDrive, for example, is 7 gigabytes, that's Microsoft. And that's going to store, to put it in layman's terms, about 200,000 pictures or so. No,
What?
Apologies, I'm going to backtrack there. I'm thinking of a larger drive. A 7 gigabyte drive, you're going to fit about 2,000 pictures.
Oh, okay.
So that's awesome.
Okay.
That's a lot to share with somebody.
Yeah.
You can put a whole trip on there. You can put tons of stuff on there. Even if you want to share music or some home movies, that sort of thing. So 7 gigabytes will get you started, and that's what's usually free. And a lot of the companies will charge you more if you want to exceed that. They found some interesting and unique ways around it. The latest Microsoft Office program, their 365, if you've heard of it.
365, yep.
Yeah. When you buy that and register it, it actually gives you 20 extra gigabytes in the cloud. So right away you get almost triple what you started with just for having Microsoft Office, which most people use every day anyway.
Oh, yeah.
They also give you a whole bunch of Skype minutes, which, as you may know, Skype is free to call from Skype to another Skype user, but Skype can also call a cell phone or a landline, and that sort of thing they charge for, though. But with that service, you actually get that for free, as well as the extra cloud space. Other things like your own cloud that I talked about, those drives typically run anywhere from about $120 to $160, depending on the storage space. They range from 1 to 2 to 3 terabytes, which, to put that in perspective, a terabyte is 1,000 gigabytes. So you can fit lots and lots of stuff on there. Unless you're big into videos and that sort of thing, you'd be hard-pressed to fill it up.
Wow. That's information we can all use. Well, Justin, can you think of anything else you want to add, or you want to save it for the next show?
Well, the only thing I'd like to add is that anybody who's listening is welcome to pop into the store for more detail. I'm there 5 days a week. You can swing on in. We can talk about the setup you have at home or at work and see if we can help you make it better. If you wanted to be able to share with your family, we can go more in depth, and I'd love to show you how to set up an account, what you can do with it, anytime. So just pop on in. I work at the new London Drugs location in South Surrey, and I invite you by any time.
You sound like you'd be very easy to work with, a good coach. So come on, folks, go see Justin.
Thank you.
And my pleasure. Justin, I have really enjoyed hearing your thoughts and advice on the cloud, and I look forward to speaking with you again next week, where we will be discussing how to shop for a computer. And folks, if you enjoyed what you learned here today, we do invite you to subscribe just by clicking on the subscribe link to the show notes. And Justin, again, thanks so much, and see you guys next time.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
You have been listening to Powering Up for Non-Techies with Justin Martell, Computer Department Manager at London Drugs. Justin invites you to drop into the Morgan Crossing location for free advice, professional computer servicing by certified technicians, and to explore their large selection of tablets, laptops, smartphones, smart TVs, and all the latest devices.
This episode is a production of Jam Media. For information on hosting your own web radio show, visit jammedia.com. That's www.jambmedia.com.
On your computer, on your smartphone, on your Wi-Fi radio. We're localwebradio.fm.
The opinions expressed by our guest and host on localwebradio.fm do not necessarily reflect the views of Jam Media or its owners. No expressed or implied opinions of any product or service should be considered an endorsement or recommendation of any kind by Jam Media or its owners.